everyone. Welcome to Canidae, or I think that's how you say it. This one comes from Ozone Interactive on itch.io. It was done for the Indiepocalypse issue number 61, King Anthology, Game Jam. And it says, on Halloween, a gang of teenagers in animal masks head out to set off fireworks and drink with their friends. Unfortunately, nothing ever goes right for you. As the night grows darker and pranks turn into violence, your friends start to change. Will you? Apparently, it's got an honorable mention. This one's like, I'm pretty late to the party on this one. This is like 2024. Anyway, let's get into it. I try to flick the lighter again, getting more and more desperate now. I can feel their eyes on me as I fail again to light the fuse, my hands starting to shake. Picturing the scowl on Red's face, I flick it harder. And lit. I quickly hold it against the fuse as it snakes up the length faster than I was expecting. Remembering my fear of the explosion, I scramble to my feet and run towards them. Clambering noisily to the bushes, I can see Blue perched on a rock and Red leaning against a tree. I don't have time to apologize as I hear the crackling start behind me. Plumes of smoke erupt out of the rocket, and the noises get louder and louder and louder until a few sparks sprinkle on the ground, but the rocket doesn't even fire. It's dead. I start to feel their eyes on me again. Red sighs dramatically. Man, seriously? I turn slowly around to face him, my chest constricting as I realize how much I fucked it up. Nice. You swore up and down to me that this would be the best way to start the night. You made us watch this instead of going over to Liam's. He breathes in heavily through his mask, the dark eye holes making it impossible to read his expression. I can tell he's becoming furious. He starts to fiddle with his bat. Listen, man, I'm so sorry. Sean told me how good these things were going to be, and I really believed him. I wanted to impress you. I'm glad we're green. It's my favorite color. There's still the rest of Halloween. His posture changes as I start to grovel, relaxing the white-knuckle grip on his bat. I know it still won't be good enough. I look over at Blue for support and he just stares back, oddly still. I'll do whatever you want for the rest of the night to make it up. I promise I won't pussy out like with Ed. Red barks out a short laugh at that. Back to lazing against the tree trunk. Blue huffs and starts to root around in his bag, gripping something. I'm gonna make you regret that promise, Runt. Besides, you already owe me. If the night is gonna improve after that, let's go. Any ideas of what to subject to? Okay, subject him to, Blue? My chest starts to tighten again, knowing exactly what Blue considers a fun use of his free time. I used to catch him pulling the limbs off bugs when we were younger, not knowing he graduated to something stronger, until I found the mice in his room. I have been meaning to. Wait, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the Runt get back at Sean for his shitty fireworks. A rock through his window, maybe. I start to breathe again, realizing I'm not going to be subjected to whatever Blue was thinking of. My stomach sinks the second I realize what I'll be doing instead. Wait, I don't know if he deserves... You said anything to make it better, right? This is anything. Sean has deserved it ages before this. I remember when he stole Liam's bike and wouldn't admit it? A rock is getting off lightly. Red starts to saunter in the direction of Sean's house and I scramble up behind him. Oh boy. Feeling a prickling in my neck, I turn around and spot Blue stood still behind us. He's staring up at the moon, heavy in the sky. I look a little closer, but then he seems to snap out of it and turn towards me. I scratch the skin under my thick mask, trying to focus on him. A funny feeling starts to form in the back of my mind, like we're somehow making eye contact underneath our mask, even though I can't make out his face. Hurry up! Jesus, you too scared of the dark or something? Blue looks back at the road, straightening up and beginning to amble towards us. I realize how long I've been frozen watching him and scurry back in Red's direction. Red snickers at his own joke loudly, and I try to relax again. It feels like we've walked for ages by the time we arrive at Sean Street. Sorry. Probably more like 10 minutes. The dread in the pit of my stomach has only strengthened over the walk. Every trick or treater we walk by makes me feel worse. A family passes me and I suddenly realize how public this is going to be, on a day where everyone is outside. The dread solidifies further. In contrast, Red whistles cheerily next to me, the shaggy wolf's head he's wearing muffling it into an ominous tune. Blue stalks behind us, breathing heavily. It sounds somehow like he's finished running a marathon. Red jauntily raises his bat up to the house, like some kind of circus ringleader. Well, here we are. Looks empty, so try not to shit yourself. He turns around suddenly, surveying the nearby houses, spotting something he likes. He wanders over to a crumbling brick wall across the street. He kicks harshly at it, old brick showering across the path. Reaching down, he dislodges a large chunk. Here you are, Runt. With that big a target, you shouldn't be able to miss. Yeah, alright. Well, can one of you guys watch out for trick-or-treaters? You sure there's nobody here? You scared of kids, man? Jesus, just throw the fucking thing. Get his bedroom window, if you can manage it. I want him to know. I don't know about this. Why don't we just... You said you would do anything, and you will, or tonight is gonna get much worse. Yeah, but if you have to ruin it, I'll have to make you regret it. He's stalking towards me, waving his bat madly. I feel like I'm speaking to an alien. He's a dick, sure, but now he's more like a man possessed. I'm like a man possessed. I step back, feeling myself start to hyperventilate. A large shape appears next to his bat, gripping it firmly enough that his waving hand stops instantly. I realize it's Blue as Red lets out a snarl in surprise. Get the fuck off me, man! He tries to whirl on him, but an inhuman roar rips through the night atmosphere. Red nearly drops the brick clutched in his other hand. I realize that it had come from Blue. Hey! Whoa, alright. Just throw the goddamn thing, okay? It's like he's been sedated. Blue releases the bat and Red's arm flops lazily down to his side. Blue looks at me and nods. Okay, I'm doing it. I'll throw. There's a rush of bile in my throat as I look away, incapable of processing whatever I had just seen. Unthinking, I raise the brick, breathe in, and throw. Damn, that's a great shot. Holy crap, we're sick. The glass shatters, pouring into the bedroom. Abruptly, I realize I can breathe again and take deep gulps of the night air. Red jumps up, hooting enthusiastically at the destruction. Click. Shit. Let's go. I take off sprinting down the road, footsteps bounding behind me. Big laugh. My lungs start to burn, but I keep pushing until the world around me starts to get blurrier. I can feel my heart beating out of my chest, deafening me. Oof, one moment. I return! Now, where were we? I can feel my heart beating out of my chest, deafening me. Finally, I stumble up against the house and stop to rest. God! What's so funny, man? Jesus, I can't believe he was there. God, that makes up for the firework. But what if we're wearing masks? Relax. Red's attempted comfort does not make me feel better. I feel like the world is closing in on me. Can you imagine the look on his face? Probably woke him up from a fucking nap. Jesus. That, or he was wanking in the dark. That sets him off into further peals of laughter, clutching his chest. Slowly, the world around me starts to right itself again. That's a new best from you. Blue looking down at me, his whole body curled up against the wall but somehow still towering over. Hey, yeah, that definitely beats stealing a pint from the pub. Of course they're British. British teens are the worst. Red punches me in the shoulder and I start to laugh with him, admittedly pretty amused by the idea of Sean's reaction. Ah, God. My turn to be compensated for the fireworks. I peer up at Blue, suddenly remember what had just happened between him and Red and what I had promised. My heart drops. Why not? Let's see if we can really make him braver, right? Feels like Red doesn't even remember what had only just transpired between them. Back to working together to torment me. Maybe we can do something more Halloween-y now, right? I have something in mind. I take a deep breath, suddenly regretting it as I notice a putrid smell wafting on the breeze. I recoil slightly, then try to conceal my reaction as I realize the scent is coming from Blue. He's not the kind of person who normally smells, well, good. This is a lot, even for him. He reaches into his bag and pulls out a small shoebox, discolored and torn. The smell gets considerably worse as he holds it out towards me. Oh. He did say something, our protag did say something about this dude, killing bugs and how he got to something stronger. So if he's got a discolored shoebox with a suspicious smell in it, it can't be that bad. It smells sweet, in the most sickening possible sense. I resist the urge to gag as I picture whatever could be inside. Red reaches over, trying to grab the box from his hands, but Blue quickly moves it from his reach. Dude, what the fuck is in there? It smells worse than when my cousin left a plate of rotting eggs in my room. You can't open it. It's not for you. Man, tell me there's not anything fucked up in there. Red doesn't seem like the type of person to care about that stuff, but whatever. Red shifts onto his back foot before turning away slightly. Actually, I think you'll appreciate this when you know the recipient. Red inclines his head back to Blue's direction, encouraging him to keep speaking. I made it for Jack. Red stops shifting around and suddenly goes completely still. I can't believe this is being brought up. Whatever happened with Jack happened long before I was involved, but I've gotten the sense it was pretty serious. He used to be a good friend of Red's and was dating Red's sister, but from what I know, the relationship got pretty fucked up. I've also gotten the sense that he's a terrifying guy. Seriously? We're having revenge tonight, and he deserves it. You know it. All we have to do is get Green to leave this for him. I remember my place in all this and snap back into reality. I really don't want to be involved in one of Blue's schemes. The way he's acting makes me feel like I'm going to be starring in some crime documentary a year from now. Red clearly notices he's lost control of the night, and I can see him trying to rally himself in my peripheral vision. I know how to read. Well, I won't say no to that. He deserves it. It'll make this one less useless for sure. He slaps me on the shoulder, but his enthusiasm rings completely hollow. It's not hard to see his heart isn't in it. Still, it's much harder to get out of this now he's approved. Listen, I get what you're doing, but I don't think I can do this without knowing what's in that box. I look over at Red for support, but he doesn't seem to be paying me any attention, scuffing his boot against the pavement. Not until you put it there. Come on, why not? No. You can see it if you do it. I hold his gaze for a very tense couple of seconds. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what is probably in the box. His experiments flash in my mind, and I can feel myself becoming even more aware of the smell. Inclining my head up at him, I swear I can see the snout of his mask curling up into a snarl. Jumping, I push myself backwards against the wall and look again, but his mask is completely the same as it was before. Slowly, he pushes the cardboard box into my hands. No reaction at all to me nearly jumping out of my skin. He swivels on his foot, starts striding off down the street, Red reproachfully following behind. He's hunched over more, boots dragging loudly as he walks. You could get the impression he had just woken up if it wasn't for his bat. Even in the darkness, I could see him gripping it tightly, the veins on his arms prominent from the force. Eventually, I start to trail behind, actively trying not to look at the box in my hand. It dawns on me that Blue prepared whatever I'm holding long before our plans got derailed, which means he was going to do something fucked up to this guy anyway. Revenge is clearly not a motive for him. Thinking about that just makes me feel sicker, so I try to focus on the Halloween decorations. Jack's house turns out to be pretty close, Blue having led us there. Luckily, it's been getting pretty late now, and there seem to be less families about. I trudge along with the group before Red suddenly swings his bat out to his side, blocking me from walking. What? Don't get any closer. His lights are on. His early cheery demeanor is completely gone as he scans the house. There's an alley around the back that leads straight to the garden. Just turn right and hop over the second fence. That's his. I really do not like how quickly this is escalating. I should have dealt with this guy a long time ago. Red's mood shift is also not helping, as I imagine if he lingers here much longer, he might actually get to use his bat. I realize I need to just get this over with, but I just can't. Guys, this is crazy, yeah? Stop being a little fucking weasel, alright? Aren't you supposed to be a coyote tonight? I'd forgotten how quickly he had been to fly off the handle earlier, but watching him turn on me so fast, I realize how much more unstable he seems. I can't even bear to look at Blue, knowing he orchestrated this beforehand. Alright. First turn on the right, yeah? Blue just nods affirmatively. I don't want to know why he knows this. Stumbling into the alley, I realize the stench of the box is only getting worse. I gag a little, but try to quieten myself myself as I get closer. Shuddering, I realize I could just leave it in the alley or find some bin for it. There's no reason to get arrested doing Blue's weird shit, and he'll never know otherwise. As I look into the alley, my eyes are drawn upwards to the sky. A horrible shiver goes up my spine as I look at the moon, surprisingly large among the stars. The feeling that something is deeply wrong fills my chest, but the moonlight is relaxing. My legs start to move of their own accord, and I realize I'm going to fulfill Blue's task anyway. The fence stretches up before me, and I reach up to grasp the top, hauling myself ungracefully up and over. I land with more of a thump than I would have liked in his garden, urgently trying to assess my surroundings. It's a pretty disgusting garden, patches of grass wilting and piles of rotten wood and furniture laying in the corners. Nearer to the door lies a large wire cage among various clothes that have clearly fallen off the washing line and been left in the dirt. Hearing movement on the other side of the fence, I remember the situation I'm in. I scramble up to the back door and quickly lay the box down, pausing as I grip the lid. Yeah. A rabbit. It's clearly been skinned and left to sit in this box for who knows how long, congealed blood coating the inside. A wave of nausea hits me faster than I can process it. I pry off my mask before vomiting into the grass. I feel dizzy as I look up again, trying to contain my retching. I try not to think about the implications of what I'm looking at and turn away from it, backing towards the fence. I grasp it again, hop, and nearly fall flat into the ground on the other side. Breathing deeply, I wipe at my eyes under the mask and try to pick myself back up. I lean heavily against the wall for a second, my legs not willing to cooperate. I'm not in the garden anymore, but I'm still too close by, so I hasten my feet and drag myself into the street. I avert my gaze as I approach them. I can't bear it. Right. Let's go. I hear Red moving away from us, and I try to shadow him, bringing my breathing back to a normal level. A hand grips my shoulder, and I hear mocking laughter from over it. Hey, it'll get a reaction. He's too close to me, and I can't even stomach a nod to the affirmative. I swallow. You gotta tell me what was in that box, seriously. I tilt my head lopsidedly up at him, trying to focus on the words. It was my plan. I'll tell you. I did say you'd be impressed. Red stands at attention, clearly hating the suspense. I remember you mentioning he had a rabbit. Oh. He thinks it went missing 6 days ago. He'll know where it went now. The world feels like it goes out from under me as I watch Red's reaction. His shoulders tense up even further. Then they drop. Then they tense again. He looks away wildly, and then looks back. It's Rabbit. His bat starts to move at his side, twitching as she shakes. That goddamn rabbit. My sister loved that thing, you sick fuck. What the hell is wrong with you? He snarls, and I swear I see a flash of yellow in the eye holes of his mask, a wolf staring back at me. All at once, he leaps at Blue, bat raised over his head. I throw myself out of the way as Blue grasps him mid-air, their bodies colliding as they both tumble to the floor. Hey, stop! I feel like I'm watching something more animal than human, bodies and matted fur roiling in constant motion. Red quickly lifts his bat and swings, Blue's head snapping to the side with a force. He goes limp for a second before surging back to life, kicking at him. Red raises his arms to strike at him again, but Blue roars and throws himself upwards. Rolling over, he uses his sheer size to pin Red beneath him. I should step in. I can't breathe. He grips Red's mask, slamming his head down to the pavement with incredible brutality. And again. Oh, and again. Holy shit. I'm helping you, you idiot. Have you done anything to him this whole time? Get your own revenge. The light goes out of Red's eyes, the formerly primal energy seeming to dissolve instantly. They look almost comical on the ground, two men in Halloween masks wrestling each other in the grass. I can't believe how different it seemed just a second before. Blue gets off him, wiping at the grass stains on his trousers like he's been mildly inconvenienced. I can't move. She loved that thing. Red lays there limply for a second, before climbing roughly to his feet and steadying himself. Got it. I'm gonna go get a drink. I need a beer. Just stay here. He turns to me, holding my gaze for what feels like an eternity. He starts to limp away from us, but speeds up the further he gets until he's running full speed around the corner. I realized how he's left me. Alone with him. I turn away from Blue, trying to process everything that just happened. The moon is unnaturally large in the sky, hanging ominously over us. I stare at it, trying to imagine it as some kind of cosmic paradise I could escape to. As I gaze at it, my vision starts to fuzz at the corners. I feel as if I can see Red's bat raised upwards as he gets ready to strike. I see Blue and his experiments, mice rotting in their cage. I feel an overwhelming pressure building in my chest, a rage filling me up and threatening to spill over. Every time Red has screamed at me, every time I've seen Blue perform some sick stunt, everything I've seen tonight. Staring at the milky surface of the moon, I see all the violence I can inflict back on them, all the pain. Blue crunches through the grass to me, snapping me out of my thoughts. The second I look away from the moon, the cacophony inside my head grows quiet, but an incredible yearning to look back blossoms in its place. Blue is looking up at the same view. Blue. I'm not really thinking as I speak, a strange confidence coming over me. What? Let him be a crybaby for the night. I cough and stare down at the grass, the breeze starting to chill me through my costume. You can't fucking attack each other. This isn't right. I have no idea how I'm doing this. He flicks his gaze over to me, annoyance starting to show in his stance. You'll notice, he was the one to attack me. Am I supposed to not defend myself? There's an incredible threat in his tone now. You knew what you were doing. I've known you long enough to be sure that you knew exactly what you were doing with Red and that poor fucking rabbit. His head really flicks to me this time, and before I know it, he slammed me back against the fence. I choke out as he pins me against it, one hand on my neck and the other gripping my left arm. You are a coward. Grow up. He squeezes harder. I pinwheel my legs around in an attempt to kick at him, but he's too strong. I did it because he deserves it. You think I care about, what, our personal bond? I scratch at his hold with my other arm, cringing away from his rancid breath. I wanted a reaction out of him, and I got it. You get so upset over what happens to a bunch of animals, but you don't realize. He slams me back into the fence again. You're both mice in the cage. You're just the more pathetic one. One of my kicks finally connects a little harder, his knee buckling under him. I try to dive away, but he's still latched onto my arm, and he pulls himself down on top of me, snarling. I cringe from the punch, my head snapping against concrete. Look at me. Look at me. He grasps the snout of my mask and pulls it around, facing directly towards him. My head throbs from his attacks, but as my eyes focus in, I see that he's not human anymore. His mask has come alive, the formerly dark eye holes illuminated by a piercing yellow gaze. He snarls louder, his canines shining in the light of a street lamp. I can feel claws digging into the flesh of both my arms. It's almost like he's trying to speak to me, a twisted growl fighting its way out instead. Suddenly, I see the moon over his shoulder, my vision sharpening down to a point. I twist and kick, sending him toppling over my side. I clamber to my feet and kick at his torso, only vaguely hearing the sound of my own snarling as I strike again and again. Hey, yo. Stepping back, I feel a deep wrongness within myself. His crumpled up form lays beneath me, chest heaving as he takes in deep gulps of breath. The moonlight shines on him now, even larger on the horizon. I realize I want to kill him. Ooh, what is going on here? Oh, okay, so we only have two choices here. Hold on, let's see this. Let's just see if it is an empty spot. Fight back or embrace it. Embrace it. An incredible warmth fills me as I stare down at him. The breeze rushes around my ears, the sound of the grass rustling filling the landscape, or soundscape. I can hear a mice scampering through the dirt and feel an urge to rush towards them, but Blue's wheezing reminds me of what I'm doing. I turn to him, tense as I watch him twitch. Something crunches hard. He brings his legs up to stand, but his leg spasms and his boot falls away, revealing a clawed foot. He groans as his bones shift out of place, his arm snapping and reshaping before my eyes. I take the opportunity given to me and pounce. He lets out a half-formed snarl as I try to bite at his neck, only vaguely aware that my mask is in the way. My body has started to feel incredibly distant, and I switch to raking down his torso with my nails. A horrible squeal emits from his body, which switches to a choked snarling as his body continues to fight against him. I can feel him reshaping underneath me, his large torso creaking and shuddering. Slamming my knee down into him, I feel a sickening snap as his chest caves in. His yellow eyes stare up at me, and for a second, I wonder what I'm doing. I feel a horrible shifting in my leg, and then I feel my knee joint disconnect. Fuck. The fox kicks out underneath me, his clothes now engulfing him. I try to keep my hold on the squirming mass beneath me, but my vision blurs as my hips shift and crunch. I fall backwards, my head striking the pavement. The pain engulfs me as I lay there, spasming as I try to resist the urges. Another wave hits as I try to scramble to my feet, my trousers tangled around my feet. The pain now radiates through my arms, each of my fingers crackling as they freeform into tiny stumps. Auga. Wait, this is a fox, right? As the feeling fades for a brief second, the fox lands on top of me. Teeth sink into my neck and I try to scream. I try to swat at the furred form above me, my half-formed leg useless as the pain swamps me. The teeth dig in further, twisting as I feel something tear. Warmth gushes down my neck, and I desperately summon all my strength to throw the fox off, hearing it smack the tarmac next to me. It squeals and squirms. I turn over, attempting to use my right arm to clutch at the deep gash. My shoulder feels fused in place, and I realize my arm can no longer reach up to my neck. I thud down limply as my strength leaves me. I hear claws scrambling next to me, knowing I can't fight back. I uselessly curl in on myself and try to use my malformed body to defend my head. Struggling to breathe, the overwhelming urge to rip at my throat engulfs me. I feel my flesh give way to teeth and claws, pinpricks of fire erupting across my body. My throat is raw from screaming. Nausea fills my chest as I realize my head is reshaping, my jaw lengthening and snapping into place. My gums burn as large canines pierce their surface. A deep itch covers my whole body. I nearly choke on my own tongue as I try to shut my mouth, my mask growing completely suffocating. I can barely register the creature above me. The world's starting to go dark as everything swamps me. And then I become him. I wake with a start, raking my claws against the fox. It's smaller than I am, blood soaked into its matted fur. My whole body screams, but the adrenaline within me is overpowering. I lunge at it. I lunge at the it. Yeah, that makes sense. The squealing only drives me on. I swipe at its face, clawing lines from its ear down to its eye. It stumbles back from me, and I push, biting down against its pathetic form. Blood hums underneath warm fur, and I go in for the kill. One last horrifying squeal rises from its throat, but it goes limp within my jaws. That's for the rabbit. I pull back, faint recognition stirring in my mind. The longer I look at it, the more confused I feel. This isn't where I should be, and I don't remember why I'm here. Swiveling my ears, I refocus on my environment. The sky is getting lighter on the horizon, and I grow concerned about getting back home. I don't know what that is. Everything feels increasingly fractured, a sense of tragedy blossoming in my chest. I trot in a small circle, recognition beginning to flicker, but fading away faster than I can understand it. Is that red? I look back down at my prey, worried somehow that it was still alive. Completely unmoving, it lays there. Oh yeah, that's red. Hey, buddy! In the corner of my vision, I see the source of the growl. A large wolf stands in the distance, teeth bared and glinting. Tragedy turns to horror, and the horrible recognition only grows. The moonlight shines down on it, wet blood coating its snout. It stalks towards me, faster now. I have no time to think. I run. I know I can't outrun it, but everything in my body is screaming at me to try. The pounding behind me is only getting louder. Run. 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 It just keeps saying run. The world smears past me in streaks of light. Labyrinthian streets yawning out at me. It's getting closer. Run. I don't know where I'm going, but I feel purpose. Something in me is desperately trying to break free. It is almost upon me now. Run, 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 run. Got my ass. Colliding heavily with me, it sends me flying across the grass. I dodge the snarling jaws over me and scamper to the side. Teeth come out on my back leg, and a sickening crunch rings out. I scream, choking on my own saliva. The slavering jaws are on me, tearing into the wound. I swipe out, feeling my claws pierce one of the wolf's eyes. Liquid runs over my paw. It retreats, stumbling over its own paws as blood spurts from its face. I clamber upwards, forgetting the extent of my injury. A deep snap and a feeling of wrongness radiates through my body, and I fall heavily back down to the floor. I can't feel my leg. SpongeBob. I realize all at once that I am not getting away. The wolf stalks back towards me, a deep growl rumbling in its chest. I brace myself, knowing that it rips into my neck, my mangled throat coming apart instantly. Instead of pain, numbness begins to fill my body. I try to raise a hand up to stop the flow, but I have no hand to stop it. A pool of warmth blossoms beneath me, my body tingling as it does. It feels much nicer than the chill of the wind. My head flops down on its own, and I realize I can't lift it back up. I look at the house in front of me. The night is peaceful. Recognition flickers distantly in my head. I look closer, the smell of something in the kitchen wafting out towards me. This feels... I know where I am. My claws scrabble once or twice on the grass as I try desperately to stand. This... Ending 1, Embrace. Damn. This kind of took a turn, you know? What is that game by, that I haven't finished yet? Tiny Bunny. You know, with everybody running around with masks and whatnot, and then you go back and forth between, like, whether or not they're, like, actual animals or people in masks or whatever. I still haven't finished that game yet. The latest chapter got released, but apparently they're revamping the whole thing, so that's why I've been waiting for that. So, you know. Oh, we shall see. Alright, let us get back to... Let's go get that other ending. Fight tobacco. Hold on, let's see exactly what was said beforehand. I realize I want to kill him. Okay, gotcha. Fight back. I resist the boiling anger rising within me, reaching up and grasping at my mask. I feel hot and claustrophobic, running out of the stupid costume as quickly as possible. A hissing noise fills my head, growing louder as I dig my fingers into the greasy fabric. It grows in volume, and I can feel my legs starting to shake. I pull, and fresh air pours in. The glow of the moon no longer seems inviting, but revolting. I look down at Blue's damaged form, and it feels as if a miasma is surrounding him. The air is charged as I approach him. Whatever was influencing me clearly having seeped deep into his body. His heavy breathing sounds more like growling, and I see his chest rising and falling rapidly. I don't know whether to run or wait, try to help him. I've seen him be fucking cruel, but I never imagined he would attack one of us. As I crouch there, he starts to change. A twitch starts in Blue's leg, looking almost like a dog trying to scratch itself. Suddenly, a sickening crunch rings out. I fall back and scrape my hands across the tarmac as he starts wildly twisting around. The screaming coming from him is like nothing I've ever heard, and there are horrible deep crunches emanating with it. As he kicks his leg out with his boot, his boot comes flying off, revealing a clawed foot. A deep sickness forms in my gut, and I crawl over, trying to pin the lower half of his body. I'm not sure what I'm even trying to achieve, but the horror in my stomach spurs me on. Catches me with a claw as I fail again to grasp him at the knee, his form smaller than I expected. Something crunches again, louder this time. If I couldn't hear his body, I would think he was having a seizure. This is clearly much worse than that. I finally pin his lower body, something in his torso shuddering as I do. I look up to see him clawing at his mask, inhuman hands tearing into himself. All at once it hits me. The mask! He keeps thrashing, no indication that he can hear at all. I realize I need to get it off of him and fast before his body deforms further. I reach over trying to grasp at his head, but he twists it back and forth ceaselessly. I gasp at his fist connects with my abdomen, feeling winded as I try not to fall off of him. As something snaps beneath me, I surge upwards, hands reaching wildly. Reaching, and got. I grasp around the snout of the mask and pull it up, twisting. There's more resistance than I expected, and he bucks me off with another kick. Still, I keep my hold on it and pull harder. The fabric emanates warmth, and I try not to think of what the implications as I rip, and I hear a tear. I fly back as the mask finally comes away, landing roughly on my back. Breathing sharply, I collapse back against the road. Holy shit! Once the hammering has resided in my chest a little, I slide unsteadily back to my feet. I can finally see his face, blood-soaked, but intact. His eyes are rolled back in his head, and his breathing is faint, but I can no longer hear his body shifting and breaking. It dawns on me the kind of changes his body has already gone through. I don't know even a little bit what this could mean for him. There's a ringing in my head as it starts to set in. I mean, he attacked me, but I can't imagine him deserving that. He just changed. I look back up at the moon, but it makes the ringing louder, so I quietly avert my gaze. Christ. The world feels like it's tilted on its axis as I look down at my own hands, then the mask. I changed as well? Could that have happened to me if I hadn't taken my own mask off? That thought makes the sickness in my stomach nearly bubble over, and I take a deep breath of the night air. Should I call someone? What would I even say? My head is really spinning now, and I resist the urge to sit down. Oh, red still changed, though. The sound is distant, but I feel as if I've been hollowed out. The rumble seeps into my bones as I look around for the source. In the corner of my eyes, I see it. Piercing yellow eyes stare back at me from the darkness. Horrible recognition swamps me. I know at once that this creature is red. His lips curl as the snarl grows into volume, slowly stepping towards me from the shadows. As light, as light is cast on him, I see the unmistakable tint of dark blood around his jaws. He moves with a predator's grace towards me. I flick my eyes down to Blue, realizing I can't leave him like this. As I look back up, the wolf is even closer to me, moving silently across the road. I know I have to act, and I have no idea what to do. There's no way I could carry Blue anywhere, but he can't get himself away. I look back up at it. The muscles in its hulking form shift elegantly under the matted fur, its huge size becoming clearer every second. I realize there is nothing I can do for Blue. Turning, I run. My heart thumps against my ribcage, resisting clattering to the floor as I sprint away. I slam my foot down into my shoe as it nearly falls off. I don't hear anything behind me, panting filling my ears. Spots begin to appear in my eyes, so I'm forced to stop and lean against the building. I breathe heavily, memories of running away after throwing the rock flooding back to me. It feels like years ago, even though it can only have been an hour. The moon hangs heavily overhead, its sickly glow calling out to me again. I can hear a horrible rending of flesh as it shines on me, shredded by sharp canines. I pound my fist against the wall until I can no longer hear it and sink down. I must be losing my mind. Deliriously, I close my eyes and see that blood-soaked maw. I think of Jack, and an epiphany comes to me. I don't know why, but I feel in my core that was his blood. That's what I was thinking too, honestly. Shakily, I rise to my feet, an unknown sense of purpose beginning to fill me. Red must have killed him. I know it. I don't feel tethered to reality anymore, but I know what has done this. Red must have gone back for his revenge. I already know I've left Blue to die. If I had just not done his sick prank, or not fucked up the night in the first place, maybe none of this would have happened. I can't let people keep dying. I realize I'm going to need to kill that creature. I'm going to need to kill Red. My legs start to move without me, and I let them lead. I feel myself coming in and out of reality as I stumble around, Halloween decorations flickering in the dark. I need to find him again, and I'm concerned about what I'm going to see when I reach him. I hold in a retch as images of blue flash in my memory. Unlike Red, I'm not used to getting into fights. I draw a small pocket knife out of my trouser pocket, warm from the proximity. Realistically, the blade is tiny. I got it as a gift, and only really carry it out of habit and convenience. I try not to think about how I'm actually going to use it as I flip out the blade and clutch the handle. Slowly, I stagger back into the streets with Blue. I quickly avert my eyes as the large, bloodied form catches my attention. I know exactly who it belongs to. I hold in a retch as I half walk, half run past it, seeing no sign of the wolf around. I start breathing again as I enter the alley nearby, almost pitch black in the darkness. Eventually, I realize I've never worked my way back to the field where our night began, quicken my pace towards it. My shoes crunch in the dewy grass, and I briefly hope I don't step in any dog shit. The thought seems ridiculous considering the circumstances, and I let out a slightly unhinged laugh. The bushes wrestle to my side, and I look over. I see the yellow of its eyes first. Predatory form stalks outwards from the tree line, canines glinting. I realize how hard I'm shaking as I see it drop some kind of fleshy mass from its jaws. A childish scream rings out, and I twist to see a kid in a ghost costume turning and running down the street. Sweets fly from their plastic pumpkin basket as they sprint out of view. I turn back around, seeing the wolf now significantly closer, maybe 3 meters away. I'm thankful it didn't chase after the kid. In a weird way, it seems to have jolted me out of my paralysis. I sprint forwards. A snarl rips out, the large beast charging forward as well. Its large face collides with my arm as I twist it out of the way at the last second. The wolf slams me back, and I quickly refocus on the knife in my left hand. It turns to me again as I plant the blade into its shoulder, warm blood coating my fist. It yelps but keeps pushing forward. I try to hold it back with one hand, my fingers releasing the knife. I realize how futile this is and try to throw it back, feeling a claw pierce somewhere around my belly button. I scream. Teeth clamp over my hand and I scream once more. In a fit of adrenaline, I wrap my hands around its thick neck and use all the strength I can summon. I slam its head down into the ground, feeling it go limp for just a second and release my bloodied fist. Terror consumes me, and I jump to my feet, the world hazy. I start to limp away, quickening into a sprint as I hear pounding behind me. Pain in my hand darts up my whole torso, feeling like an electric shock. As I reach the street, I realize I've got no idea what I'm doing, no possibility of outrunning this creature. The knife didn't seem to slow it down even a little. It's just because of where you hit it, brother. Terror grows in my chest, but a bend to my left gives me an idea. Hearing the wolf right behind me, I reach out and grab. I stumble slightly as I pull down, but the bin clatters loudly to the floor behind me. The wolf slams into it, garbage spilling into the street. I take advantage of the brief distraction and turn sharply into another road. I have absolutely no direction. Something catches my attention. Strips of fabric lie in a heap, along with... Wait. A large, dented bat sits amongst it. No way. I have no time to consider what led me here as I reach down and grip the bat, hearing snarling behind me. Hey, bada bada! I swing, feeling metal collide with flesh. Another yelping snarl rings out, and I see the furred body hit the floor. It recovers fast enough, clawing back towards me. It moves faster than I expected, and the bat glances off as its teeth dig into my arm. I splutter and scream, but it digs in further. I fall back and hear something tear, those teeth finally leaving my arm. Everything starts to fade, but I urge myself back to reality as it surges towards my face. It moves in slow motion as I feel myself swinging the bat up towards it. It gets closer and closer, and I hit first as it falls down, limp body flopping on top of me. I struggle to push it off, finally sliding my legs out from underneath it. As I stand up, I swing again. It twitches. I bring up a paw to stand, and it brings up a paw to stand. I decide to hit it again to be sure, and again. Moichiro. Everything goes still as I hit it again, seeing the color truly leave its eyes this time. My head spins as I realize it might all actually be over. I feel like I've slipped into a different world without my knowing. I look over at it, its chest no longer raising and lowering as it breathes. I remember exactly what this "it" is. I laugh a little, feel sick, and throw up onto the street beside me. Sit down hard, feeling weakness throughout my whole body. Resting my head against the road, I watch the stars. I think of going back home, but I can't find the strength to move. A feeling of madness descends on me, and I realize something is truly broken. I clamber up to my feet, clutching the bat limply in my hand. I ignore the feeling of warmth gushing over my arm. As I begin to walk away, I hear police sirens in the distance. Oh, dang, that was it. Ending 2. Fight back. Damn, dude. Damn. Dev Talk Discord. Thank you for playing. You're welcome. So, I guess that's it for... Shit, what was the game called again? Canidae. Canidae? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, this was sick. It was such a short but like intense sort of thing. Like, I like how we don't really get like all the explanations for everything, like what happened with Jack. Like, I'm guessing maybe something happened. Well, obviously something happened to Red's sister. You know, him like being so furious about it, even being so like willing to kill Jack, and Blue willing to fuck with him by skinning his rabbit. Okay, you know, so I'm guessing that maybe the sister like lost her life somehow. Maybe it was like one of those really intense like romances, and or he was like extremely abusive to her or something, and then like, you know, she ended up taking her life because it was all over. The fact that Red would react so poorly to like knowing about this guy, you know what I'm saying? It seems like one of those things where maybe in time time. You could have gotten over it, or could have not even forgiven him, but gotten on with life. But instead, he's like willing to do that. And Blue especially doing that, like, that was insane. Blue is a psychopath. He's a killer in the making. I don't know if you guys know anything about like the psychology of killers or whatnot, but they typically start with small animals and then they get older and they do crazy stuff to people. They upgrade a little bit. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really feel bad for Blue. Both circumstances, the guy sucks and he dies in both endings, so whatever. As far as Red goes, I mean, like, I've seen explosive people before, and I know how, like, teenagers or young adults can kind of be here and there. So whenever somebody's got slight anger issues or is more animated, I don't really think they're just bad people. I think they're just, I don't know, more expressive. And maybe because I'm a guy, I can deal with violence like a little bit more, so I don't really like take it that seriously. And for our character, that's like pretty cool. Like I said, it reminds me of Tiny Bunny, where you've got these kids or teenagers that are out and about with animal masks and you don't know where, like, if it's like real or not. And here it's like, oh, clearly the moon just influences them to act on their urges. And if you want to go ahead and dig deeper in it, which it probably isn't, let's be real, it's probably not even gonna go that deeply. You could probably be like, oh, this is a metaphor for how people really can be and how violence is stupid and how we all go a little bit crazy at nighttime, and if we let our emotions take over, then we really do become the animals. We were the animals all along. Or it could just be a little story that's about these people actually becoming animals with the mask. Either way, good on our main character, Green, very regular, for deciding I can't let anyone else die. I can't let Red kill anyone else, you know what I'm saying? Because he can't control himself. And then deciding to handle business. All in all, yeah, it's just really good. I see why this was submitted, and I see why people have recommended this, Not to me, it's just, I could see around and look at the page and whatnot talking about how good the game is. So yeah, this is going to get a 10 out of 10 for me. Well, maybe like a 9.5 out of 10, because I kind of wish that they had more CGs for Blue's body and maybe even our character to kind of see like here and there, like if there was some sort of gallery that would have been tight, but there's none. But anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching me play this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.